Welcome again to Wish It Was Homestead. Yeah, we're coming up the other way this time. A little different. Bunch of seed starts here. These here with the red are hot peppers. Got some basil. Not sure what's in that one. Let's turn the other way. Two down there. We potted up all the tomatoes. More hot peppers there. Peppers. Bunch of peppers. Main garden. Red acre cabbage is starting to head up. You see it right here. Got a bunch of them. Lettuce is bolted over there. Bunch of green cabbage here, doing really well. Really tasty. We had some of that the other day. Arugula went to seed. Got broccoli. Nice little bit of broccoli right there. Red Russian kale. A lot of that. More broccoli over here. Tomatoes doing okay. That one will be ready to pick in about a week. Spinach. Chickens, of course. Another broccoli. Put potatoes in here, Amorosa. And there was another one. Amorosa and all blue. Put some lettuce down here again. Different types. More kale. Nasturtiums are doing well over there. Tomatoes are dying off on me. Not sure why. All right. Let's get out of this garden. The 1980s. It was a great decade. Me and my wife became husband and wife. Moved to Florida. Reagan was president. Economy was doing good. Bought my first house. Job I'm still at. Started there in '86. And it was a cold decade. Got a bunch of Romas. Gonna have to put them up for sauce. These carrots. First time I've really gotten carrots to grow well. It's just a carrot mix. Radishes, we've been eating off of that. Just gave the neighbor a bunch of kale, red Russian and lacinato kale. The 1980s. One of the things that was about the 1980s is it was a cold decade. I remember just moved into our house, maybe 89, 88. Rolling blackouts because Tampa Electric Company couldn't keep up with the demand for heat. It was cold. So why do I bring that up? Well, the hardiness zones. Let's talk about those. They're based on a 30-year average coldest temperature. They were there in 2012. They kind of do it every 10 years. They update the hardiness zones. Well, when they did it this year, 2023, they come up with new zones, new charts. A lot of people moved up one. I probably did too. Don't know, don't particularly care. See, that measures the coldest temperature you're likely to see. 1980, the decade of the 80s, was really an outlier. Usually it didn't get that cold. So everybody got dropped the zone. But they don't matter. All this stuff here, remember, it's the coldest temperatures. All this stuff here would die if it ever got down to, even in Florida, ever got down to that temperature. Where you're going to worry about that is in your permaculture, your trees, the type of trees you plant, and how low of a temperature they can take. Most of these trees, now the oaks will go down pretty cold. Eucalyptus will. This tree here can take pretty cold, but not the coldest. Fig trees I'd have to cover if we got as cold as we did in the 80s. Might not even grow. Whole point of it is hardiness zones don't really matter if you're growing vegetables and certain trees. Mango tree, citrus, it gets below 26 degrees for more than 4 hours, I think. Your citrus is toast if you don't protect it. So the coldest temperature in Florida, Central Florida, won't matter. They're going to die unless you protect it. All of your veg, it gets below 32. A lot of it's gone. Tomatoes here, we covered them up, didn't need to, but my son wanted to, so I said, okay. We got down to 35, I think. 32, they're done. They'll handle 35 for a brief time. 35, 32, they're done. Broccoli, on the other hand, your brassicas are cold weather crops, your lettuce, your spinach, they'll take 25, 20 degrees, and they'll survive fine. The whole thing of it is, we're zone 9B, I believe. There's a zone 9B in California also. I can't grow what they grow. Why? Because what matters most is they have low humidity, high temperatures. We have high humidity, high temperatures. Although we've never gone above 100 degrees, we have high humidity for 9 months out of the year. A lot of trees won't grow. A lot of plants won't grow. Tomatoes, except for the Everglade tomato, they're not going to grow. Seminole pumpkin, they'll grow in the heat. But your regular pumpkins, watermelons, that kind of stuff, humidity here will kill it. What's more important than your hardiness zone, really, is your average high temperatures, for how long, your humidity, things like that. Your last frost date, your first frost date, those matter for veg growing. But for trees and stuff, yeah, your hardiness zone will matter. But, you know, apples. I can't grow apples technically in Florida. Not sure apples grow up north. Why? We don't get cold enough. Certain apples, pears, peaches, all your stone fruits, they require cooling temperatures, chill hours. We're never going to get that in Florida, except for the outlier like in 77 when it snowed in Tampa. So anyway, hardiness zones, if you're gardening to eat, doesn't matter to you. If you're putting in permaculture, that's where you want to watch what you're planting. You want to watch your lowest temperatures. You want to be careful with that too. So anyway, hope that helps you understand a little bit. The way they calculate it is they take the coldest average temperature for the area each year, average it over the 10, and then they do that for 30 years. So what happened was the 1980s just fell off on this last go around. So you have basically what you have is 30 points of data for each area. Now they've added monitoring stations so you can get a little closer. You know, you put your zip code in, you get pretty darn close as to what your coldest temp will be on average. But again, if you're going veg, it's not going to matter. Most trees, not going to matter. Citrus, not going to matter. You get below 25, 28 degrees for 4 hours or more, it's a goner anyway. Doesn't really matter. Matters in your other trees though. Like I'm borderline for bananas, borderline for the mangoes I'm growing. Son did a good job planting. Nasturtiums great in salads, have a peppery flavor to them. Radishes, been harvesting. My neighbor came over. I gave her a bunch of kale. Came over and tied up the mango tree. Grapes. Yeah, those grapes have gone through the bucket already. That taproot is pretty big. Mulberries. Got mulberries. Mango. Blue blossoms. That over there, this dark dirt, that's potatoes. This side over here is red potatoes from Publix. Those are Yukon Gold I bought in Grand Teton. Potatoes out there. Pulled out a bunch of lettuce, put new lettuce in here. I was gonna put potatoes in this area. Want lettuce instead. Onions. That lettuce there is doing really well. Tastes good too. Swiss chard. Dinosaur kale. Bunch of peppers still. They're hanging on. Anyway, hope that helps you with hardiness zones. And like I said, if you're growing veg, doesn't matter. Your last frost date, your first frost date will matter more. Your humidity is going to matter a whole lot more. Things to worry about. All right, I got a couple more videos planned. Can't say anymore. You can't buy GMO seeds as a home gardener. We'll do one on that. And also, carbon footprint of an urban farm versus conventional. They did a study on that. We'll look at who paid for it. You need to think about who paid for it, what they wanted for a result, and what it really means. Anyway, God bless you. Keep you in our prayers. Keep us in your prayers. We appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe. I hope it helped you. Remember, you can grow something. Even if you're in an RV, you can grow. God bless.